There was a boy named Ion. His life was simple, quiet, and full of small dreams. He wasn't rich, he didn't have fancy clothes, and he didn't own the things other kids his age showed off proudly. But he had something far more precious to loving parents and a heart that believed Allah never abandons anyone. But life does not knock before entering, and it certainly did not knock before tearing Ion's world apart. One winter night, when the air was cold enough to make the windows shiver, Ion heard sounds no child should ever hear, the hurried footsteps of people, the shouting of neighbors, and then silence. His home had caught fire. By the time help arrived, everything was gone. The only thing left standing was Ion, trembling, covered in ash, staring at the ruins of the life he once knew. And with the rising smoke, rose the biggest fear of all. His parents didn't survive. Just like that, Ion lost everything. His home, his parents, his childhood. What remained was a boy holding onto a burnt scarf that belonged to his mother, whispering, "Ya Allah, why me?" For weeks, Ion wandered between shelters and relatives who didn't really want him. Some fed him, some tolerated him, and some made him feel like he was a burden. Nights were the hardest. He would curl beside cold walls and cry silently, pressing the burnt scarf to his face, hoping to smell even a trace of his mother's perfume. But whenever he was at his weakest, something strange happened. A thought would whisper into his heart. Allah never takes something away except to give something better. Ion didn't fully believe it, but he clung to it like a drowning person clings to a wooden plank. Days turned into months. Ion found small jobs cleaning a shop, carrying boxes, wiping tables. People mocked him. Poor kid, no future, he'll never get anywhere. But Ion never answered back. Every time he earned even a few coins, he would look up at the sky and say, "Ya Allah, you know my heart. Help me." One day, after cleaning the street outside a masjid, Ion sat quietly near the door. The Imam noticed him, a thin boy with exhausted eyes, yet a strange calmness in his face. "Why do you sit here every day?" the Imam asked. Ion looked up. "Because this is the only place where I don't feel alone." Those words struck the Imam deeply. He sat beside him. "Tell me your story, son." For the first time in months, Ion told someone everything. The fire, the loss, the nights of loneliness. The Imam listened without interruption. When Ion finished, the Imam placed a hand on his shoulder. "My boy, you may think you lost everything, but Allah was preparing you for something much bigger." The Imam took him under his care. He gave him a room inside the masjid, food, and something Ion had forgotten existed: kindness. Most importantly, he enrolled Ion in school again. Every night, Ion would study under the dim masjid light while the rest of the world slept. Every morning, he would clean the masjid before going to class. Every prayer, he would raise his hands and whisper, "Ya Allah, make me someone my parents would be proud of." Years passed. Ion grew not just in height, but in character, strength, patience, and faith. His teachers noticed his brilliance. His Imam noticed his discipline. His classmates noticed his kindness. He went from being the boy who lost everything to the boy who never gave up. One afternoon, during a school competition, Ion presented a speech titled, "When Allah takes, He replaces." He spoke about pain, faith, patience, and hope. He spoke about his parents, the fire, and the nights of desperation. But he ended with a line that made the whole hall silent. "Maybe Allah broke my world to rebuild it better." Ion won first prize, but the real victory came later. A philanthropist who had attended the event approached him. "Young man," he said, "your words touched my heart. I want to sponsor your education until university." Ion's eyes filled with tears. He bowed his head. "Alhamdulillah." Years later, Ion became one of the youngest engineers in his country. Reporters interviewed him, students admired him, and the world knew his name. But he never changed. He still cleaned the masjid on Fridays. He still donated secretly. He still made dua for his parents every night. And one day, standing inside the same masjid that took him in, Ion whispered, "Ya Allah, you gave me far more than I dreamed. You truly are the best of planners." The boy who lost everything found more than he could imagine, because he never stopped believing that Allah was with him.